शांति। अव्यक्ति परिवार में आपका स्वागत है।
Shanti. Welcome everyone to Avyakti Parivar. Today is day 11. So transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga, tapasya. So today's topic is spiritual endeavor means powerful remembrance. So today's signal is in order to make remembrance powerful, while going into expansion, the practice of being in form of essence should not reduce. Don't forget the essence when you go into expansion. Eat, drink, do service, but don't forget detachment. So, spiritual endeavor means powerful remembrance. The heart is constantly in connection with the Father. Spiritual endeavor doesn't mean just sit in remembrance, no, but it in the same way as you sit physically, so your heart, mind, intellect should also sit with the Father. Such concentration will ignite the fire. So now we will be listening to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti,
Om
Om.
Shanti.
इस मास के लिए
So for
हम
this
सबका
month,
अभ्यास
what we all
अवश्य
are practicing is based on the signals that we are receiving from Adhavan. So
जितना
this
भी
is more like
शब्द
volcanic yoga.
हमने सुना है
So whenever we listen to
शायद
this
बहुत
word
ही
volcanic
याद आए
yoga, but this is volcanic remembrance, powerful
तो
remembrance.
याद का कनेक्शन
So
धारणाओं से
remembrance
होता है
is connected to
और
our
फिर हम वो
what
स्थिति बनाते हैं
dharanas. So
जिस
when
स्थिति का वर्णन
we
बाबा
have that
करते हैं
stage that Baba wants
तो
us to
याद
be
रहने
in,
वाला होती है
then in our
और
remembrance
जितनी
there
जल्दी
is
वो आत्मा
fire.
अच्छी प्रज्वलित
So
होती
the
है
more the fire is
उतना
ignited,
विकर्मों का विनाश
so
होता है
the to that
विघ्नों का
extent
विनाश
our
का वो सब
all the
कुशल और सहज होता है
obstacles, all the
तो
vices will get
जब हम सुनते हैं अव्यक्त परिवार
absolved. So when we
तो
listen to
हमको
this
उनके
signal that
सूक्ष्म
we receive
जो
from
प्रभावों
Baba,
पर बाबा ध्यान देते हैं
so then we
उसको
should
हमको
pay
लगाने की
attention
जरूरत
on
नहीं
those
है
subtle dharanas that
तो
Baba is
दो
drawing our
युक्तियां हम कर
attention
रहे
to.
हैं
So today,
क्योंकि
Baba
बाबा
is
कहते हैं सिर्फ याद नहीं
asking us to pay
उसकी
attention
साधना
on
करनी है
2 3 points, especially. It's
साधन
not
होता है
just remembrance, but
साधना
it's
होती है
spiritual endeavor.
आजकल
One is
लोगों के जीवन
facility,
में
but one is
साधन
and
का प्रभाव
spiritual
ज्यादा है
endeavor. Nowadays, we are
इसलिए
more dependent
लोग
on facilities. Like if we will not have this, we'll not be able to
जैसे
do
साधनों
things.
पर
So
आधारित
we
है
are very much dependent
कोई
on the
समय तो होता था
facilities.
कि
But
कहते
there
थे
were times when we didn't have many
डस्टबिन कारपेट
facilities,
बिछा दो
like there was only one
कारपेट में
carpet.
कारपेट
On
बिछा के
that
जरी होती
carpet,
है ना मैट की
so what we call
बिछा
mat
देते
these
थे
days,
फिर बैठ
carpets.
जाते थे
So
योग
so we
करते
used
थे
to just
ये साधना होती थी
lay down those carpets and sit on that and just do yoga. So now we need chairs, we need couches, we need sofas, so more comfort. Like it's okay when you take care of body is also important, but what Baba is drawing our attention today is to, like, if we have to ignite this fire, then the spiritual endeavor is needed. So Baba is saying that for powerful remembrance, so when you go into expansion, you should practice the form of essence. So if there is like something, some situation, so if we listen to 10 people, so we listen to 10 different type of things. But what we have to do is just stabilize in the form of essence. Not, don't take out your. So yesterday also somebody was sharing to me, like if there are 8 people, they share 8 different type of things, so whom should we trust? So I said trust everyone. So then that person said, how's that possible? So Mohini Didi is saying, I told her that just trust everyone, but stabilize in the truth and the essence, and then do whatever you have to do based on your discerning power. So don't entangle your mind or intellect in such mundane things. So don't think about that a lot. Just leave it. Just leave it. If they're not telling the truth, then it's okay. That's their responsibility. It's not like it's Baba's justice or through Baba. Like truth always win. So this is very subtle. So we should think about it. So Baba is saying, whenever you go into expansion, just practice the being in form of essence. So don't forget the essence when you go into expansion. Eat, drink, do service, but don't forget detachment. Don't forget detachment. So spiritual endeavor means powerful remembrance. So your constant should be constant with Baba. The heart is constantly in connection with the Father. So wherever is your heart, your remembrance is there. So heart should be connected to Baba. So heart is constantly in connection with the Father. So spiritual endeavor doesn't just mean that you sit in remembrance. So spiritual endeavor doesn't just mean that you sit in remembrance, but in the same way as you sit physically, like on chair, your body is there, you sit physically. So your heart, your mind, your intellect should also sit with the Father, with the Father. So such concentration will ignite the fire. So what type of concentration? When your heart, so sometimes mind is there, but intellect is wandering, heart is wandering. So some ask, oh, what is the difference between intellect and heart? So mind is creating thoughts. And when we go into depth of those thoughts, so then we say, oh, my heart is saying this, my heart is saying that. So that is heart. So our spiritual endeavor is, so what is the dharana here? That even you are going into expansion, but stabilize yourself in the form of essence. So whatever actions you are performing, just stay detached. Don't entangle yourself a lot. So detachment is important. So that's what Baba's homework is for today, detachment and stabilizing in the form of essence.
Om Shanti.
Om
Awake
Shanti.
meditation
So now we will revise the Murli, Avyak Murlis from 1969.
वाणी तारीख है 8 जून
So Avyak Murli, the date is 8th June 1971.
खुराक खुशी और खजाना याद की यात्रा में रहने से कोई
So,
करवट आती है
can you achieve miracles by staying on the pilgrimage of remembrance? So somebody said, we have the attainment of the powers. So then Bapdada said, would you say that the attainment of powers is a miracle? So those people practice many things and achieve miracles by occult power. Would you call this attainment a miracle? Would you call the power with which you perform tasks a miracle? So somebody said, you wouldn't call that a miracle. So Bapdada said, you don't use the powers considering them to be a miracle, but you use the powers for a task, considering it to be your duty.
कर्तव्य करने का तो फर्ज है
So it is your duty to carry out the task. Because of this, you would not accept it as miracle. Here, it's not a question of miracle. You consider this to be practical task of Srimad. Those people have miraculous powers, whereas it is Srimad that would enter your intellect. So you all have received the powers. So it's Srimad, not the miracles. If you have attained the powers, it will not be in your consciousness that you reach the stage through Srimad, that is, through these directions. So you would not consider it to be miracle, but Srimad. You don't use the powers considering them to be a miracle. You use the powers considering it to be your duty. So you will definitely receive the powers. There will be no need to say anything through your lips. You will not be carried out as successfully through your thoughts. In the beginning, you had to speak a great deal through your mouth in order to prove something. Only then you attained success. Now you are even able to carry out your duty by speaking less. Later, you'll have the practice, your thoughts will carry out a task. You will be able to call anyone through your thoughts. You'll be able to inspire someone for a task through your thoughts. So you also have powers, but you have to use them considering it to be your duty. So you receive this attainment through following Srimad. Just as you press a button and have an entire scene on television, in the same way, you would have thought here, and the entire picture would be clearly drawn in the other person's intellect. So you will have such a connection. So you will have the attainment of all powers. For this attainment, all other things have to be removed from the intellect, and you have to continue to follow the directions you have received through Srimad. Nothing else should be mixed with it. Wasteful thoughts are not Srimad. They are dictates of your own mind. So when you have such an intellect in which there is nothing else but Srimad, you will then receive the powers. You are coming close. So there is greater praise of Shaktis. the Shaktis are praised in
क्योंकि
connection with their
साकार
duties,
अंतिम कर्तव्यों
because the
से
final completion in the
सृष्टि में
corporeal
रहते
form
हैं,
is carried out
इसलिए
by the
भगवान की
Shaktis.
स्मृति
So, this is
व
why there is a
पदार्थापेक्ष
greater
सेवा से
awareness of
संबंध
the duties and
दैनंदिन भविष्य
memorials of
देवताओं की
Shaktis day by day.
सेविका
So, there will
पूजनीय
be
व
fewer and fewer
आज्ञाकारी
memorials
शक्ति
and worship of the
शक्तियों को
form of
स्वयं
deities,
दृढ़
whilst
करता
the
है।
worship and praise